So how does the YouTube algorithm actually work, and what are the best ways to get views and get discovered right now, especially if you're just starting, if you don't have very many subscribers, or maybe you feel stuck or plateaued and you're looking for some fresh insights for some of the changes that have been happening on YouTube. In this video, we're gonna be talking about the 4 factors of search and discovery on YouTube, basically how the YouTube algorithm works, and then going into 12 tactical tips for getting views, getting discovered. And we've been getting some good feedback about these kind of like deeper dive masterclass type YouTube videos. So I think this one won't disappoint. So let's get into it.
You gotta just press record.
What's up? Sean Cannell here with Think Media, bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. A question came in recently from North Carolina Living, and they asked, how do I make my YouTube channel more discoverable? They're doing videos about gardening, landscaping, and plants in general, and they want to get found. They're also working on thumbnails, working on descriptions. So what else is there? Well, let's first talk about how the algorithm works right now. We'll talk about the 4 factors. And then in part 2 of this video, we'll go into 12 tactical tips. And so buckle up. So the YouTube search and discovery system is pretty complex, but here's kind of the overarching goal. The YouTube algorithm's goal is to match viewers with videos they are likely to enjoy. So I think it's important to note that although YouTube cares about you as a creator, what they're obsessed with is viewer satisfaction. They want to find videos that can satisfy viewers. So here are the 4 key factors that influence search and discovery. Number 1 is viewer behavior, and this includes 4 things: watch history, search history, likes, dislikes, comments, and device and location. Let's break these down. The first is watch history. What videos have you watched in the past? I'm sure you've noticed that as soon as you search for something or you really start to consume a particular type of content, you start getting recommended other similar content. I was recently looking for some workout headphones that don't fall out when running, so I like the ear hook ones. And I started to search for those, and then I started getting YouTube shorts and long forms about other workout headphones and running headphones. Understanding this can help you strategically create content, but I don't really want to get ahead to the tips. Number 2 is search history. What have you searched for on YouTube? Of course, there's the viewer behavior. What have you actually watched, consumed? You've clicked on videos that were suggested to you. But what you've actually typed in YouTube is, of course, going to be influencing what kind of videos they show you in the future. Now, what you've clicked like on, what you've clicked disliked on, dislike will down prioritize perhaps that topic, if not just that one video or that one creator. But if you click like and you comment on videos, then your interactions with the content is going to continue to suggest you further content. And number 4 here, just on number 1, viewer behavior, device and location. So where are you and how are you watching? So the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you're on a smart TV, is different than if you're on a smartphone, and even different than perhaps a tablet or a desktop. Like the experience is different, and what's going to be recommended to you is different. And by the way, if you're using the same login on all of those devices, even YouTube knows that what you watch on a smart TV might be different than when you sit down at your computer. So you're getting different recommendations depending on the device. But what's the second big area? The second key factor for influencing search and discovery is video content. This includes title, description, tags, video length and format, thumbnail, and then the audio and visual quality. Let's break them down. So how well does your title, description, and tags match search queries? Now, some people try to say tags don't matter, which is mainly true. They don't carry a lot of influence. Description's a lot less. Title's incredibly important. I mean, at the end of the day, if I'm looking for the JBL Peak 3s, which is what I ended up with after my research, I'll put an affiliate link in the description. This is not about these, but they're pretty fire. The fact of actually putting Endurance Peak 3 JBL in the title, no matter how good the content is going to make that a lot more findable than if you didn't reinforce product name or that exact health issue or that exact food or that exact trending topic. And so Title, description, and tags absolutely matter for discoverability. Next is going to be video length and format. Is it long form or is it short form? That could influence the intent of the person or what videos are being served up. And then also thumbnail. How engaging and relevant is the thumbnail? We'll get to these a little bit later on tips for this. And then audio and visual quality. How well produced is the video? You don't need great gear or great camera to succeed on YouTube, but in some cases, audio and visual quality absolutely can help with search and discovery, the content itself, and if YouTube is going to suggest it. The third factor is video performance. So now you've posted the video, how well is it doing? Here's different areas: click-through rate, watch time, retention rate, likes, dislikes, and comments, shares, and embeds. And so click-through rate, how often do people click on your video thumbnail? Back to making great thumbnails and having great topics that people actually want to click on. Watch time, how long do people watch your video? Retention rate, how many people watch your video to completion or as close to completion as possible? Likes, dislikes, and comments. What is the viewer engagement in your video? I know there's some overlap in these, but these all stack to influence what influences videos ranking, what influences videos getting suggested by the YouTube algorithm, and shares and embeds. How widely is your video shared? And so are people clicking that share button? That's bringing new traffic. If someone shares it with someone they know that is going to love it, and then that person watches the entire thing, and then the people who are like that person, YouTube starts going, okay, let's show it to even more people and more people. And that's how social media content spreads. And then finally, number 4 is channel authority. This includes subscriber count, upload consistency, and viewer loyalty. So what do these mean? So how many subscribers do you have? Obviously that builds authority, and better if they're similar subscribers as opposed to just confused different subscribers who all like different things. That's going to mess with the YouTube algorithm. That's going to mess with your channel. But if you've gathered a bunch of homeschool moms that want to learn how to homeschool their kids well, and all of your subscribers are like a certain demographic, it even kind of makes it easier for YouTube to suggest your content. And not only that, there's more momentum when you upload a video because all your subscribers like want the main theme of your channel. If you've got all these themes and all these topics and all this different stuff that you're covering on your YouTube channel, sure, you got a lot of subscribers perhaps from all these different places, but it can confuse the algorithm. Upload consistency. How often do you upload new videos? I've heard a quote thrown around that YouTube is a momentum-based platform. I don't know if I fully agree with it, but we'll talk a little bit later about how upload consistency is just a big deal in general. Like, I mean, in life in general, if you want momentum in your health, be consistent. If you want momentum in your relationships, go on date nights, be consistent. If you want momentum on YouTube, be consistent. I mean, you got to keep uploading videos, but we can get a little more tactical in a second. And then viewer loyalty. This is kind of a big one. How often do viewers return to your channel? You know, YouTube Analytics shows us this. It talks about new and returning viewers. And so key factors in search and discovery includes viewer loyalty. And there's something powerful about building a core audience, not just viewers that stop by for one video, but people that repeatedly come back, especially the momentum of your subscribers clicking on your latest upload, consuming it, loving it. That is why some creators just consistently put out these big videos, because there's also that core audience that might have notifications on, and they really, is your content no miss? Do they want to, are you uploading videos that a large percentage of your audience would all want to watch? And so there's that momentum growing, and you have some actual loyalty of viewers that return to your channel as opposed to just a one-off view of a particular video. But in part 2, we're going to be talking now about 12 tactical tips. So let's dive in. So this entire video was inspired by a question, right, about how do I make my YouTube channel more discoverable? Well, here is 12 ideas for you based on these search factors. So we're going to kind of tie together the understanding of how the YouTube algorithm works in part 1 with the tactics that we as creators can do now in part 2 of this video. And here they are. Number 1 is nail your niche or niche. How do you say it? Is it niche or niche? Let me know. We learned that some of the key factors that influence search and discovery is viewer behavior and watch history. So North Carolina Living, that asked this question, mentioned that their content is gardening, landscaping, and plants and nature in general, which I would say is great. Because the point here in Nail Your Niche is that if you're planted in a proven niche that there's verified interest in and that people are already consuming content around, gardening, huge on YouTube. Landscaping, yeah, absolutely. Plants, absolutely. And so the good thing is that if you then nail your niche, you really dial in. And I know like some people will say you don't have to have a niche. Here's some modern language for you. Channel topic or channel theme. What is the theme of your channel? You know, even if you're a personal brand, there are themes. Maybe it's 1, 2, or 3 things, but they all tie together. Like, what are your 3 things? Like if I think about The Rock, I think about like bodybuilding and entertainment, certainly as an actor, and now a little bit entrepreneur, Terramana Tequila, some of the other things he's doing. But there's like themes around him. So if you narrow down your themes, so whether you want to call it a channel topic, a channel theme, a channel niche, you want to get suggested with other content and you don't want to confuse the YouTube algorithm. So nailing your niche is a big idea. We actually have an entire course on this. It's actually a bonus right now for our YouTube membership program. If you want to check that out, you can go to thinkvra.com or I'll link to that in the description down below. But I did a whole dedicated course just on nailing your niche or niche. It's called Niche Finder. And so anyways, that may or may not be right for you, but I'll link to that in the description if you want to check it out. And so number 1 of 12 tips is nail your niche. Number 2 is create search-based content. So remember, we learned that the algorithm looks at your search history and what has a viewer searched on YouTube before. And so when you start to understand search-based content, your goal is to create some videos, maybe not all of your videos, but you want to get discovered and nobody knows you. Maybe you're at 0. How do I get my first few viewers? Get in front of the topics that people are searching for. Let's take it back to our Endurance Peak 3 headphones. Like I started to search for some workout headphones that, and I've bought something by the way, and I clicked an affiliate link because I was looking around YouTube for something I was searching for. And by the way, discovered creators I'd never seen before. I didn't know them, but I was searching for something. I know some people might say search-based content only applies to education channels or certain types of channels. Fine, but I really think it should be a part of your tool belt, and I would argue it's pretty underrated. So anyways, create search-based content. Number 3, create engaging content and then remind people to engage. So what do I mean by engaging? Well, if engagement includes, yes, watching your videos, it also includes taking action, like engaging with it, like doing something. And so remember, the algorithm works according to likes, dislikes, comments, and interactions with your content. So there's kind of 2 sides to this coin. One is make great content. I mean, I know that's generic, but it's like make content that people are thankful for. So they hit the like button. So they leave a comment. So they say thank you. So they're like, finally, it's not just the same old regurgitated stuff, but like you're really, you know, it gets someone. I usually don't comment on videos, but like I'm commenting on this one. So the amount of effort, the amount of quality you put into the video, the content itself is actually like worth engaging with. But if you also remind people to engage with the content, then those signals are just all a bunch of algorithmic signals that lead to getting discovered, getting suggested, ranking. And so include, when appropriate, calls to action or chill calls to action. Now, I know this could be overrated. You don't need to front load the video with subscribe to the channel and hit like and do all the things and do all the stuff. Sometimes at the end of the video, like even in the last few things I like to say during the end card, as I might say, like click or tap the screen to watch this video. My name is Cannell, your guide to building a profitable YouTube channel. Smash like if you got value, and I'll see you in the next one. Hit like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. A lot of times I'll put it at the end of the video after you've given value. You also can add those little pop-ups. Like you just might be talking and adding value, and in the upper corner of the video, it just is like, you know, boop, 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 a little sound effect, a little subtle. Any little thing like that, bottom line, is these engagement signals can be helpful, so be thoughtful when you're crafting your content. Tip number 4 is master best practices for different content formats. So we learned that search and discovery also works by device location and where and how people are watching. So that could be TV, smartphone, tablet. And so you mastering different content formats could be mastering long form, mastering shorts, and the different best practices for each format. Shorts is a different game than long form videos. But when you also go to YouTube for a channel that is uploaded every type of content format, it's getting pretty wild if you look at what you can see on the YouTube channel page, meaning you kind of have like their homepage. You could click on just videos. You could click on shorts, and then there's all their shorts. If they upload podcasts and classify content as such, there's a podcast tab. If you've ever gone live before, there's a live tab. You can then see their community tab. And there's a lot of different formats that are happening there on YouTube. And so in regards to search and discovery, I think number one, don't get distracted with, if you're brand new to YouTube, trying to master all of the formats at once. But if you start a video podcast, really go deep in mastering video podcasts. If you're going to be more of leaning in on shorts, really study shorts. And if it's going to be a long form game in general, just your typical YouTube videos, really be thinking about that and be just aware of what is it you're trying to achieve. Is your content more lean in and engage, perhaps time code, chapters, education? Is it more lean back? Someone's on their couch, they're, on their smart TV, just watching your content. They turn it on while they're cooking dinner on their TV in their living room. I do that a lot. I listen to these video podcast conversations or whatever it is. So anyways, just your awareness of how YouTube works can help influence your next video in a positive way, that it could be recommended more and help you get discovered. Number 5 is dial in your video SEO. Now, SEO stands for search engine optimization, which would typically be applied to a website or a blog. And so video SEO means we're applying these best practices to our video content here on YouTube. And we learned about search and discovery on YouTube, that title, description, and tags can influence your video being discovered simply because you are putting the appropriate metadata around your video. And so go deep on that, study that. We go deep in our course and our membership program if you want to learn more about that. I also have a class, and it's one of our specialties here at Think Media. thinkmasterclass.com is where you can watch a 1-hour on-demand class, because mastering video SEO, not in the sense that just because you write a great title, that's why your video will perform. It won't. There's a lot of other things to do. But writing a bad title or not really understanding how to position your content or do proper research or even understand and discover golden opportunities as it pertains to even what video you should make next, it's a kind of underrated topic these days in the YouTube world. And so dial in your video SEO. Number 6, write better titles. Now, this is a topic that we've covered pretty deep here on Think Media, but it's a skill that I continue to work on and use different tools to always be innovating and improving our titles across multiple different channels. But here's kind of 2 big ideas. I want to be keeping in mind number 5, which is dial in your SEO. I want to be thinking, does this video have the key terms, like the things that people are searching for? That's kind of the first part. But the second part is, in today's YouTube world, you want to be writing for humans. If there's curiosity, if there's an open loop, and there's different strategies. There's kind of a search-based strategy, and then there's also kind of a suggested strategy. I think the most lethal content creators, YouTube creators, really know how to tap into both. And so they are not getting stagnant or lazy when it comes to titles. And number 7 is similar, make better thumbnails. And as you know, this has turned into an entire industry, meaning there are professional thumbnail artists that some of the bigger YouTubers will hire and pay $300 to $500 a thumbnail. Now, the cool thing is AI, Canva, Dolly, AI tools, Midjourney, There's a lot of things that can make just anybody that's starting that has limited resources make better thumbnails. Like you can make better thumbnails. Like you need to make better thumbnails. Like seriously, because it's a big deal and it's something to continue to innovate on and learn the best practices of. And remember, the algorithm is influenced, search and discovery is influenced by how engaging, AKA also your click-through rate, and how relevant your video is to the intent that a viewer is looking for. Whether they're literally typing in search or whether they're just looking around, what are we doing with our eyes? We are scanning thumbnails first and then we're reading the titles. So again, a topic for another time, but make better thumbnails. Number 8 is improve your video and your audio quality. And the reason why this matters is I think one, audio and video quality can help with retention. One of the most important ones is actually audio. I don't know about you, but if your audio is echoey in a room, it kind of hurts your ears, you're listening on headphones, you're like, I want this information, but man, this audio is terrible. Improving your audio can improve retention. Improving your video in terms of how interesting it is, or just even lighting, like lighting will help any camera look better, even your smartphone. How visually pleasing the video is can be helpful. There are other factors, although minimal, but there are badges YouTube gives, like a 4K badge if you upload 4K content. And what I'm not telling you is that if you upload in 4K, now you're gonna be ranked and suggested and go viral. But what I am telling you is that if we're stacking all these little details, one of the mindsets to consider is if everything was created equal, which it really never is, but like if everything was created equal between you and another creator, and like you both had great thumbnails, or you both had great titles, and almost every, the content was really good, but one video was 4K and the other wasn't, YouTube wanting to satisfy viewers and give them the most options, because you can select the resolution. Like just because it is 4K doesn't mean the viewer watches in 4K. But if somebody can have the best experience possible, what is the algorithm solving for? Satisfaction. And so I don't know about you, I like crispy videos. And listen, not all of our content is that, I go live a lot. It's not as crispy as this. This is crispy. Like we're crushing on this right here. We got a little A7C II G Master. This is some video quality. But let me encourage you, it's not necessary at the start. Because even if you just hit a couple of these things, this is kind of an exhaustive masterclass in a way. We're hitting a lot of aspects of best practice. YouTube is a skill. You want to get 1% better with every upload. And so you want to start with what you have. My friend Roberto Blake say this, you should match your audio and video quality to the expected quality to the standard of your niche. If it's an educational video where you're sort of training through information, and in your niche, some of the best other videos, go research your topic. What videos rank? What can you learn from the other videos? What's the expected quality of them? So Roberto Blake has a great point in saying that one of the reasons why you might be staying stuck is because the level in certain niches is maybe pretty high as far as audio and video. So put in the work, hustle, work on the side, earn a little extra, a little coin, and then check out, some of our best camera for YouTube videos this year, and level up your gear. Because if that's the standard of the niche, then that is going to be a lid that's hard to break through. But let me encourage you, there are a lot of topics on YouTube where you can go look and find and see, wow, there's videos getting hundreds of thousands of views, millions of views. And the camera quality, it's like smartphone only. And the audio is decent, but it's not amazing. And so I think that's something to consider under this tip. Number 9 is improve your CTR. That stands for your click-through rate. So we could really go deep when it comes to improving your click-through rate, but there's really 3 big factors in my mind, and a 4th important, and that is this. Like the 3 big things on whether or not someone's gonna click on your video is gonna be topic, title, and thumbnail all paired together. Do they even desire this topic? Are people looking for this topic? The best title and thumbnail in the world on a topic people don't care about, then they won't click on it. They don't want to click through. And so those are the 3 big factors. But if we take a little side quest here, what's interesting is YouTube just released the thumbnail split test tool. And the way that tool works, it's been out for a while, but lots of creators have it now. You can upload 3 different thumbnails and YouTube will run one for a while and then change it to one of the other ones and change it to one of the other ones to see which one is performing best. But what's fascinating is it shows you another factor in terms of like quality of click-through rate. And it's the fact that YouTube tells us the winning thumbnail performed best, not just on how high was the click-through rate, which simply means if you have a 4% click-through rate, it means that out of every 100 people that the video is shown to, out of every 100 impressions, 4 people actually clicked. What YouTube is doing when it selects a winner is it's saying which thumbnail led to the highest watch time. So click-through rate and watch time are very interconnected, because just because you can get someone to click, if a certain title, topic, and thumbnail gets someone to click, but they bail in 10 seconds or they only watch a minute, versus the way you title it, the way you thumbnail it leads to 2 minutes of watch time, then on a net, YouTube perhaps is going to go with that thumbnail that has a lower click-through rate, but that has a higher watch time. I think the easiest way to understand what's happening there is that if you have like a very clickbaity title and thumbnail, but the video doesn't back it up, well, then people aren't going to stick around. Whereas if things are in alignment, like if you set accurate expectations and people go, this is what the title is promised, this is what the thumbnail seems to be promising, and then the video delivers on that, then YouTube's going to go with the one that keeps people watching for as long as possible. So to improve your click-through rate, which is one of the search and discovery factors, be thinking about, in a way, you're like, this kind of everything. Well, yes, it's all very interconnected. You know, what topics of videos am I making? Improve my titles, improve my thumbnails, and then improve my content itself, which is tip number 10, improve your watch time and your retention rate. Now, how do you do that? A topic for another time. Here's a couple ideas that I wrote down. The pacing of your videos, the editing of your videos, your communication skills, storytelling, humor, don't be boring, trim the fluff, get to the point, infotainment. So not just information that's maybe dry and bland, but can there be a little bit more to it? Can there be some humor or some refresh or some personality that you include? All of these different distinctions, you want to play to your strengths. This isn't about trying to become somebody else, but it's thinking about what are the different ways that I can improve watch time and retention. And, you know, this is actually one of the core things that we help people with here at Think Media is mastering everything we've been talking about, but also really developing the skill of the perfect video recipe, but figuring out your strengths and figuring out what you're best at and then playing towards that. And so, you know, you might not know that we have Think Media certified coaches, and there's people that we help in a group basis and on a one-on-one basis. Now, that's not for everybody, but I know some people might want some additional help beyond a membership or something like that. If you're interested at all, you can check out thinkmediacoaching.com, and there's like an application where you could see if you qualify. If you would say, yes, I'm serious about this YouTube thing, or I've hit a plateau, I want to improve my game. We cover it all in coaching, but crafting these types of skills, communication skills, pacing, infotainment, how do you make better videos, perfect video recipe, all that stuff. I'm definitely giving you some tips here, but if you're interested in that, we'll link to that down below, or you can just go to thinkmediacoaching.com. Now, another thing under improve watch time and retention could be how you organize and structure your content, and then as a result, doing time codes and chapters. Like on this video, you're able to navigate through the tips, part 1, part 2, there's structure to it, and time codes and chapters are utilized. Now, there's actually an ongoing debate about, do time codes and chapters hurt retention because people can skip around and they don't have to just watch. The flip side is they might just skip away. They might just bounce unless they hover over your video and see, oh, coming up is this part or that part, or there's a 3-hour. Why are these people doing 3-hour podcasts these days? Like, what are these 4-hour podcasts? Well, sometimes I might see somebody I want to learn from or somebody that I want to listen to. I don't got 4 hours. So time codes and chapters get my watch time, because I'm not going to watch the video if I just have to like weed through all 4 hours. But if I can scan the time codes and chapters and I'm like, I want to watch that part, boom, 8 minutes of watch time for me. Ooh, that part looks interesting. Boom, 10 minutes of watch time for me. So just a thought. This is obviously always an ongoing, game of mastering YouTube, best practices and what's happening. But bottom line is improve your watch time and retention rate, and YouTube will recommend you. It'll rank you. It'll spank you. No. But bottom line, get 1% better with every upload as it pertains to increasing watch time and retention rate. And give yourself grace, because these are complex skills to build. And we all, don't compare your beginning to somebody else's middle, is one of my favorite quotes from John Acuff. Like when you're just starting, you're like, this is so much different things to learn. That's why it's just like, make your next video your best video and keep skill building, keep improving your skills as you go. And you're gonna be stunned by how much progress you can make when you do that intentionally. Number 11 is follow the CSQC formula. Now this stands for consistent, strategic, quality content. So we learned that part of search and discovery is uploading consistently. And so my goal is to upload consistent, but also not just a lot of videos, because sometimes volume is overrated, like the volume of uploads. Like if you just keep uploading terrible videos, that doesn't mean you're going to build momentum. But if you're uploading consistently, and what's the magic number? I mean, if you can do once a week, do once a week. If you can do once a month, do once a month. If you can do 3 a week, do 3 a week. I mean, like the bottom line is that there's just forward momentum. Like if you upload one video and take 10 years off, you're like, why is my channel not growing? Well, I have a sneaky suspicion that it's the fact you're not uploading videos to YouTube. One of the secrets to success on YouTube is uploading videos to YouTube. So consistency. Now, the second one though I think is important is strategic. I think by even this video, you might be seeing that, oh wow, there's another level of strategy that could go into my video. In fact, I'm curious, like what has been maybe one of your biggest takeaways, or do you like these deeper dives like this? Let me know in the comments. Could you be more strategic? So you're uploading consistently, you're being more strategic, whether that's SEO, research, intentionality with how you're structuring your videos. Quality, am I improving the quality? The content value, how am I delivering it? How is it structured? The production value, can I up the quality over time? 1% better. I'm gonna invest in a lens. I'm gonna invest in some lighting. I'm gonna invest in a microphone. 1% better. And then content. That is, of course, what we're doing. It's actually uploading videos. Now, also the reason though that I think this leads to search and discovery is number one, just more at-bats. Like if you upload 2 videos a year, then you've got 2 chances to get discovered and build some momentum. If you upload 50 videos a year, you take 2 weeks off for vacation, but you really commit to like 1 video a week for 50 weeks. And if give yourself grace, if you get sick, you know, like take a week off, but like generally you're just consistently moving forward. This is like a law of success in general. Like success takes consistently. It's not what we do occasionally. It's what we do repeatedly that produces success. And so more at-bats, more hooks in the ocean, especially with search-based content. I'll never forget, I went on this like date day with my mom, and we're in Mukilteo in the Pacific Northwest, and we were gonna catch a ferry. And we went down and we were really early. And so we grabbed a coffee and we were walking along the docks, and we saw a guy, he was actually just chilling. He's sitting there and he had like 10 fishing poles. It was probably like 4, but and they were all lined up on the dock. And he's just chilling, and I was like, wow, that's kind of a smart move. I don't know if the game warden's okay with it, but like he's got the fishing poles, and why? Because if he only had 1 hook in the ocean, that bait, that hook, that video, the analogy, might actually, catch that 1 fish. But because he's got the 4 hooks in the ocean, he could multiply his potential to catch more fish. If you're trying to get discovered, if you're trying to get views, if you're trying to reach more people, every upload is a potential opportunity to get discovered. And if you have 2 fishing poles out there, maybe those ones didn't work. But if you got to 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe it's number 6 that pops off. So just the mentality of the math of YouTube. If it's strategic and it is quality and you're progressively improving your quality and not being cruel to yourself at the start, because we all suck at the start. My friend Ben Azadi said the formula for success is suck, 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 cess, And so that's the bats. Like video 1 wasn't good. Video 2, even worse. Video 3, really bad. Video 4, a little bit better. And then that one started to get recommended. And because you committed to the process. And so more hooks in the ocean. And then finally, though, is the flywheel effect. And this could be applied in business and other things. It's like the flywheel effect of go around the circle of plan a video, shoot the video, upload the video, do all the stuff, title, thumbnail, put it out there. Maybe you share it on social media. If you didn't see the video where we talked about how to promote your videos in different places like Facebook groups and Reddit, I'll link to that in the description, but do that stuff and then do it again. And it's you keep going around the flywheel. Why? Because it builds momentum. So it's I learn about what the parts of the process are. This is why, so we have this program called Video Ranking Academy. It's our main YouTube membership program. And it's an actual circle. It's like a flywheel. And so it's 7 steps. And when we go through these 7 steps, you just keep doing it over and over again. And the flywheel effect of consistency really matters. And I mean, even look at any channel. You look at these big channels, they upload at 100, 200, 300 uploads. Now, I really believe that if you watch videos like this and you are intentional about your skill building and your education, you may not need to upload 200 videos before you really break out. But oftentimes you're going to need some at-bats. You're going to need some practice. And one of the things I recommend is to use your season in obscurity to prepare you for popularity. So when you're early on in your YouTube journey, your first few uploads, in my opinion, are much more about your personal growth and personal development than they even are about getting a lot of views. You're practicing in public. You're working out. You're learning your voice. You're learning how to use your camera. You're trying to get the settings right. There's just a lot of different things. You're just practicing and you're going around the flywheel. We always say from the Atomic Habits, one of my favorite quotes, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And so this is a system. This circle is a system. I just keep going around the circle. And the first 1 time around it, not great. The first 28 times, maybe not great, but over time, I just keep going. So anyways, the flywheel effect. So keep following it, keep working it, stay consistent, stay strategic, and you could get discovered. Okay, so I actually have a bonus tip in just a second, but let's hit tip number 12. And that is, don't just chase views, build an audience and a community. We talked about the search and discovery system working by channel authority and things like subscriber count and upload consistency, but also viewer loyalty. There's something powerful about not just having to chase every view, but by building a personal brand where people start to trust you, where they start to get to know you. In some cases, right, the reason you click on a certain video might not even be because they did the best practices of everything, but because you see their face, you see that individual, and you maybe even see that channel or that logo, and it means something to you. Of course, you don't have this at the start, but it's just something to be thinking about. These are 12 different tips that you could be working on over time. And so a few thoughts here. One is really thinking about the personal brand that you're building and not underestimating the power of personality and even storytelling in your content. Because I know that sometimes people just want the pragmatic, just give me the information, and they're gonna come get the information and leave. Well, you probably never would have got them anyways. They're using YouTube like a utility. However, really probably the only way to truly build a personal brand and connection is by adding more than just the raw information. Especially in a world of AI, we need more humans than we ever have before. We need real people with their personality coming through. And so something to think about, that personal branding and weaving in personality is going to be helpful. Story being another one of those. Now, another thing to do is reply to comments. Just the fact that you care, that you demonstrate that as your channel grows, maybe you can't get to all of them. But even this video, I don't know if you remember, is in a reply to North Carolina Living. And I appreciate them putting in the question. Our goal is to legitimately help you, not just North Carolina Living, but you watching this video win on YouTube. You actually learn something. Hopefully you get an experience. I don't take it for granted that somebody would watch this video, hit the like button. And so I feel like every day I have to get up and earn your view, your trust. And Babe Ruth said, yesterday's home runs won't win today's games. And so there's something about continuing to put the effort in replying to the comments, to say thank you, to show your appreciation, to answer a comment with a video. By the way, there's that short feature where you actually can turn a comment into a YouTube short reply. That's a community building thing. But answering a comment with a video like this, like it could be that a comment inspires a video, but sometimes what I reply with is someone's like, hey, this is my challenge on YouTube. And I know that we've got a video in the library that could answer that. So taking the time to like slow down and get to as many comments as possible. And, you know, legacy over currency, like not just chasing views or chasing money or just chasing viral, but thinking about human connection. And, you know, on the journey, you'll be misunderstood. Some people will come, some people will go. Not everyone's going to like you. You need thick skin, but a soft heart on YouTube, I really believe, to succeed. But in the process of getting discovered, in the process of building momentum, because all of these tips stack, don't cut out your story or your personality, because that's the only difference maker when information is pretty ubiquitous. Of course, the quality of the information, the quality with which you present it, you know, the different aspects and all of the other things, but it's your story. It's that connection point. It's those resonation points. And the cool thing is there's opportunity for all of us, because not everyone's going to like you. Certainly not everybody likes me. And so you're not everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's cup of tea. And so it's going to be those little things that people resonate with, whether that's your background, your personality. Like maybe you're like me, you grew up in a small town. I grew up on 6 acres, horses, dogs, cats. Everyone at Arlington High School was wearing Carhartt before it was cool. Like you haven't shoveled horse manure or cut grass a day in your life. The audacity that you have to be wearing Carhartt
Honda Civic
posts with a green ground lighting kit.
This farm life, bro, is where I grew up.
I don't know if the editor is going to cut this out, but thank you, Nate, for whatever you decide to do. The bottom line is I think the point is build actual connection and community. And net, I mean, if we just took a second in this video to reminisce, there's good information, but it's going to be personality, story, some of those connection points that even make it, you know, memorable. There's just some stuff to relate about. So I think you get the big idea. But let's hit tip number 13. Bonus tip number 13 is use the culture surfing strategy to get discovered and get noticed, especially if you're just starting and trying to get views. Yeah, I heard one person sum up YouTube saying, YouTube is basically human psychology and trends. And if you can tap into both of those with your content, you can win. And that really resonated with me. Now, we don't really have time to unpack these, but I have a video, you can click or tap the screen to watch it, on how to tap into industry trends and how to leverage the culture surfing strategy. And if you got value out of this video, you can smash like. My name's Cannell, your guide to building a profitable YouTube channel, and click that video because I think that you'll enjoy it.